I'm Jess. In today's video, I'm going to be filming a full face of my most expensive makeup. Looking at all of this makeup that I have pulled out in front of me and knowing how much everything costs is making me realize how much money I've spent on makeup in my life. You know what? It's a passion and I love it, so it's okay. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up so that more people can see it too, and let's get started. I'm gonna start with this guy right here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I always use this as primer. It's very rare that I would ever use anything else. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna start with my face makeup today and then move over to my eyes afterwards. The most expensive foundation that I own is this guy right here. This is the Dior Forever foundation. This was my favorite foundation ever for a really long time, and I have not used it in ages because this color is very fair and I've had some color in my skin for like over a year at this point. But I'm just gonna mix in a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation as well. This is in a darker shade, so I'm just adding this in for a little bit of color. This guy's pricey too, but not quite as much as this guy here. So I'm just gonna take 2 pumps. Ooh, I haven't used it in so long. Oh God, it hit my hand, guys. It's okay, I didn't waste any. You know, when it gets like all built up in the cap, it kind of like sprayed at a funny angle. I thought it was gonna end up all over the place. Okay, so just a couple pumps of that on the back of my hand here, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. We're gonna mix those up and apply. I'm so curious to see how the makeup turns out using all super expensive products. I use pretty expensive makeup like on the daily, but I usually mix it in with like some mid-range and sometimes some drugstore stuff, so it's gonna be fun to see if this like really very expensive face of makeup like looks expensive, you know? So I'm just buffing this in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I do really like a brush with this Dior foundation. It's been forever since I've used this foundation, and one thing I'm noticing is that I've got some texture happening on this side of my face, just some little like under the skin bumps. They're kind of sticking out a little bit more than they usually do, so I'm wondering if that's the foundation or maybe my skin is just in a very bumpy place today. I'm not too sure. But I love this Dior foundation because of the finish. I'll usually use it when I'm doing a full glam makeup look because it's a little bit more of a matte finish, but it's really satin, it's quite natural. It just gives such a beautiful finish to the skin, really nice coverage. It's not super full coverage like an Estee Lauder Double Wear or the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation, but it's definitely still a full coverage foundation. Okay, and then for concealer today, I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher Concealer. I actually just picked this up recently as a lighter coverage concealer option. My bags are so dark today. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my under eyes and like all around my eyes when I woke up this morning was like black. I'm not into that, and I would prefer to use a fuller coverage concealer today, honestly, because of that reason, but this is definitely my most expensive concealer, so this is what we're gonna get. I'm also gonna use this just to build up the coverage over here a little teensy bit, and kind of down over here too. And then I'm just gonna let that sit for a couple minutes. Letting your concealer just sit on your skin before you blend it in will help you build up the coverage. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wet my sponge. All right, so here's the after. My sponge is a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and just buff this all in. And then I wanna go ahead and set that right away. I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Genius Magic Powder for this. This is a loose setting powder. And I'm just going to stick my sponge in there and just use that to set my under eyes. I'm gonna be using some cream products on my face, so I don't want too much powder all over my skin so that those cream products can just blend into my complexion really nicely and not get all choppy and messed up by powder underneath them. Just gonna focus this right underneath the eyes, and then maybe a little bit right here in the middle of my forehead and kind of down on my nose with whatever's left. Okay, so like I just mentioned, I'm gonna do a full glam, like full face of makeup today. So we're gonna do cream products underneath our powder products. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of cream contour, a little bit of cream bronzer. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour one in the shade Light Medium. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this kind of up on my temples here. Add a little bit onto my cheeks, a little bit under my jaw, and I'm just gonna blend that in with my beauty blender. I love this product so much. It is so easy to blend into the skin. It looks so natural. The color is perfecto. And then under my jaw here, I'm just gonna blend that in with my foundation brush. You guys see how easily that just blends right into the skin? So nice. Next, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of cream highlight. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight Cream Highlighter. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this right to the top of my cheekbones. Let's do a little bit above the brow as well. This is such a pretty highlighter. It really gives like that glass sort of wet look to the skin. It's really, really reflective. It looks so nice in photos, really natural. Because it's a cream, it just kind of disappears into the skin as opposed to being like powdery and kind of sitting on top. I love this highlighter. This is another one I haven't used in ages. I don't use a lot of this super expensive makeup right now because I'm not really like going anywhere. Just staying in my house every day and filming YouTube videos, so I don't think to really use like my most expensive stuff, you know, because I don't want to waste it. But it needs to get used, and I thought this would be such a fun video, so we're using it all today. How pretty does that highlighter look? I love it, jeez. All right, let's continue on with our complexion a little bit here. Next, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of bronzer. Oh, that's definitely not my most expensive bronzer. Is it? Let me check. Yes, it is. All right, so I just had to check and make sure that this was actually my most expensive bronzer because I have one from Dior too that I assumed would be more expensive, but it's not. So the new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer is the most expensive bronzer I own. It's got this really big pan in it, so it's okay that it costs a little bit more. That's how I justify it to myself anyways. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this on a bigger sort of fluffy brush. This is in shade number 2. It's quite dark and pigmented, so I'm just gonna be really light-handed with it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and set that cream bronzer that I already put down just by patting so that I'm not moving any of those creams underneath. And then once everything's kind of patted down and the pigment is placed on my skin, I can really lightly do little circular motions to blend it out. I think we're definitely going for like a very glowy, bronzed look today. I'm thinking like going out for dinner on the beaches of Spain or hitting up a Miami nightclub, something like that. I'm just gonna take a teeny bit of bronzer too and just run it down the sides of my nose. And then a little bit underneath my jaw and on my neck. Because I wear SPF on my face and I always end up kind of bringing it down my neck, so I always have this kind of like line where my skin is pale from like here up, so I need to just bronze my neck so that it matches the rest of my face. Okay, fabulous. I am feeling very sculpted, which I'm loving. I'm just gonna go over top of that cream highlighter with this guy right here. This is a Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in the shade Sunset Glow. I was actually surprised at how much this cost. I was Googling all of my highlighters this morning. I thought that my Becca highlighter was gonna be my most expensive one, and this is actually like twice as expensive as my Becca highlighter. So I'm gonna go ahead with this guy right here. It's quite peachy pink, so I'm gonna see if I can actually use it as like a blush and a highlight, but I'm not sure it's quite pigmented to be a blush. Okay, so that added like a little bit of a pink tint to my highlight and kind of set that cream highlight in place, but I don't feel like that's enough color for an actual blush. However, I'm not sure what color I'm gonna do for lipstick yet, so I'm gonna skip blush and we'll add it at the end after I choose my lipstick. So let's move on to the eyebrows now that I have all my complexion done. I'm gonna go ahead with my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift pencil. I have mine in the color Rita, and I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows in the color Supermodel and just give them a quick fill in, and then we'll come back and do the eyes. Let's move over to the eyes. So to prime my eyes today, I'm gonna use this Laura Mercier eyeshadow primer. I have mine in the color Flax, and I'm just gonna pop this onto my eyelids. So let's move on to the eyes. So for today's eye look, I'm gonna use my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. This is by far the most expensive eyeshadow palette that I own. I am in love with it. The eyeshadow quality is so amazing. The colors are so creamy. Everything blends so beautifully. If you've got the extra dough and you're looking to treat yourself, I definitely recommend Natasha Denona palettes. I have a whole playlist of videos using this palette up on my channel already, so I'm gonna link that across the top of the screen and in the description box down below. If you guys wanna see some other videos where I use this palette, go and check those out. For today's look, I think I wanna stick with sort of this bronzy, glowy theme that I have going on. So I'm gonna use just some of these more bronzy tones in here. And actually, before I do that, I wanna use a cream shadow as a base. But what type of look do I wanna do? Maybe I'll use, yeah, okay. As a base for my Natasha Denona palette, I'm gonna go in with this eyeshadow from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a Eyes to Mesmerize. It's a cream shadow in the color Bet. Really pretty kind of bronzy gold tone. I absolutely love these. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this guy here and pretty much just wash that all over my lid. These work really nicely as bases to increase the pigmentation of powder shadows on top. They add depth and dimension, and they don't crease, so they're really good for that. They're also really good to wear just on their own as eyeshadows. Yesterday I used one of these in a different shade and I just washed it all over my lid. I didn't use any primer, so throughout the day it kind of like melted a little bit and looked so like glowy and glossy. And yeah, they just work so nicely just by themselves for really quick and easy makeup as well. And then I'm going to just take like a fluffy blending brush and just kind of buff out the edges. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this color right here, this nice light medium brown shade, and I'm going to buff that into my crease as a transition color. I do wish that this palette had like a more neutral mid-tone brown shade for transitioning. There's a couple of transition shades in here. There's this one, there's this one, there's this guy over here, but this one's a little bit too dark and these guys are quite warm, like almost like orangey yellow tones. Same as this one. This would be a good transition color too, but again, it comes off very orange. So I wish there was just something a little bit like more neutral and light in this palette that you could use to like transition all of your looks with, you know? There's so many options for color in here. It'd be really nice just to have that kind of color, but obviously I have a million of those colors in other palettes, so it's not the end of the world. It's just like something I think would bring this palette to the next level. Okay, so I wasn't really paying too much attention while I was doing that, and I've made a little bit of a mess on the outer corners here, so I can clean that up with concealer a little bit later, or we can go for more of like a messy look. We'll see what happens. Next, I'm going to take this color right here and just pop that right here on the outer corner. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this color right here. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, like a light shimmery brown tone. And I'm just gonna add that right here to the inner corner and take that about halfway across. And then I'm just gonna take this smaller little brush right here. I love this brush so much. And I'm gonna take this sort of darkest brown shade here. Ooh, this one is so pretty. Maybe I wanna use some of that too. Yeah, okay, so let me just take this guy here and I'm just gonna add that again to the outer corner, but because I'm using it on a smaller brush, it's gonna go on a little bit more dense and precisely than the last color that I put down here. If you guys haven't noticed in this video or in other videos that I filmed, I really like to put down color first with like one brush, usually a smaller, more dense brush, and then take a fluffier brush and blend it out afterwards, rather than trying to apply the color and blend with the same brush. I just find this works better for me. Okay, and then I'm really loving this like orangey color right here. It's got, yeah, like some nice sparkle to it. So I just wanna apply it really softly over top of this look as well. Should I use a brush? I might just put a teeny bit on my finger. And then, where should I put it? Maybe in the center? Yeah. I'm gonna add a little bit of that right to the center of my eyeball. Such a pretty color. So last thing I need to do is highlight the inner corner. So I'm just gonna take this color right here and pop that right on the inner corner. Got some fallout happening. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna do my under eye here as well. So I'm just gonna take this first color we used and then the darker color that we used and apply those to my under eye. Okay, and then things are looking a little messy on these outer corners. So I'm just gonna take this concealer that I used before. This actually works really great for this because of the applicator, the brush tip. It's really nice for cleaning up around the lips, especially and around the eyes. So I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit here. Just to have that look a little bit neater, a little bit more snatched. All right guys, so let's pop on a little bit of eyeliner. The eyeliner that I'm gonna use today is by YSL. This is their waterproof eyeliner. I think it's just in the color brown. I've been trying to use this guy up because I've had it for a little while and I don't want it to dry out. And it just so happens to be my most expensive liner. So it's perfect for today's video. I'm just gonna use this guy to line my upper lash line and give myself a wing. I really actually quite like this YSL eyeliner. When I first got it, I wasn't too sure on it. I was used to the Charlotte Tilbury ones, and this one is different somehow. But I've gone through most of it now, and I do actually really like this formula. I'm also just gonna really quickly use this to tightline, and I'm gonna pop this in my waterline as well. For my mascara today, I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes mascara. Ooh, actually, I have this one, which is more expensive, but this is the travel size version. Does that count? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use the full size because this is actually more expensive and this one is more expensive in the full size, but I don't have the full size. Yeah, okay. Full fat lashes, guys. Full fat lashes. The most expensive lashes I own are these guys right here from Huda Beauty. These are the Samantha lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on really quickly. Okay, lashes are on. I love these lashes. So guys, what do we have left? Not too much. Let's do lips. What are my most expensive lip products? Ooh. To choose from. Okay, let me find out which ones are the most expensive. I'm thinking it's either going to be my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, or I have a few different types of lipsticks by YSL. I have a Dior. Ooh, $46, $49. The YSL ones went out as the most expensive. I have a YSL Rouge Volupte Shine in the shade 30, which looks like that. Kind of a shiny sheer pink. And then I have a Rouge Pur Couture. This is like a glossy stain kind of situation. Really similar color, just a little bit more peachy. Let's do the peachy with this look. For lip liner today, I'm gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury Pink Venus lip liner. Almost out of this guy. It's a really pretty peachy pink. And then I'm gonna go ahead with number 27 in the YSL Rouge Pur Couture. Something that I've noticed over the years of using this formula, it's really easy to put on too much, and then you get those like sticky bits on the inside of your lips. Then they rub together. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that off. And then I'm gonna top that with this guy right here. So this is a Dior Lip Glow, Dior Addict Lip Glow. This is like a lipstick topper. It's really cool. It's like, I don't know if you guys will even be able to see. It's clear and it has sort of glitter in it, and it's kind of holographic. You guys see that? It's like a highlighter for your lips. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and put it right in the center for like a bit of extra glow. Kind of using this in the place of a gloss. has a similar effect, but it's definitely not, it's definitely a different formula from a gloss, you know? Alrighty, and then I think the last thing we need is blush. So I'm gonna go ahead with, this is Ecstasy from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm gonna pop a little bit of that kind of on the apples of my cheeks and then blend it back. Looks really nice and glowy because I've got that Bobbi Brown kind of highlighty blush underneath. I launched my website today for my business, and I kind of keep myself in focus on my phone. So I keep looking down to make sure that I'm in focus, and every time I look down, there's like comments, and you guys are like giving me so much love on my website. So thank you so much for that. You can go and check it out. It's justhanky.com if you just want to see what I do. If you want to book me for makeup, definitely go and check out my website. You can contact me from there. All right, so let's finish this off with a little bit of setting spray. I haven't used setting spray in my videos for a while because I haven't needed my makeup to really last long, but I think I'm actually gonna wear this makeup out tonight. I'm having dinner with a girlfriend, so this is definitely like too much glam for the friend slash like type of dinner that I'm having, but I'm wearing it, so I might as well wear it out. That was the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Okay guys, and that is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching this full face of my most expensive makeup. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on the videos that I have coming up next. We have lots of fun videos coming, so make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.